Welcome back, Pixel Nation Comics Division here. How the hell are you? I'm doing quite well. Hopefully everyone had a nice, safe, and enjoyable 4th of July weekend. I know I did. As a matter of fact, I spent the majority of it dicking with that thing right there because my PC decided to go and die, and I went and rebuilt it, and finally got everything working yesterday. Finally. It was a real pain in the ass. Anyway, tonight I want to go and talk about this interview with Mackie where he calls out the MCU for being racist. But before I get into that, there's an interview with Christopher Priest I want to go and talk about. He is a black comic book creator, and for a while he found himself getting kind of pigeonholed, and this really kind of plays into this whole thing with Mackie. So let's go and jump into that interview. Now, I have covered this article before. It actually originally came out in February of 2018. For years, I would get calls every 18 months from either Marvel or DC where they would inevitably offer me a character of color, a black character, or a Latino character. I would politely decline and then pitch them on Potato Man or Spud Boy or whatever. They'd go, we don't really know. We'd have this conversation and I would thank them for calling and plan on seeing them in 18 months. Then 18 months later, I'd get a call from Marvel or DC and we'd do this dance all over again. Odds are, if you name a comic book character, Christopher Priest may have actually written for him. This includes a lot of top characters like Spider-Man, Batman, Black Panther, Quantum and Woody, Conan the Barbarian, you name it, he's done it. But at some point in time, they just started looking at him as being a black writer. And this is what he ends up calling out. So I got a call from DC, and they wanted to talk to me about Cyborg. I gave them the standard stump speech. I don't want to be a black writer. When did I become a black writer? I used to be the guy who wrote Spider-Man, Deadpool, Batman. Why am I no longer qualified to write those characters? This is the problem with identity politics. It's going and creating this form of creative segregation. So if you're a black writer, you can only write black characters. And black characters can only be created and written by other black people. Now, this has been going on in comics and, as you'll see, in movies for a number of years now, which is pretty unfortunate. Now, when I said creative segregation, I'm not just being hyperbolic. This article came out last year where Jordan Peele said that he doesn't see himself going and casting a white dude as a lead. But wait, there's more, much more. Back in 2018, Scarlett Johansson was supposed to be in this movie called Rub and Tug, where she played a trans character, and of course, because of all the outrage, she stepped down from the role, which actually led to the cancellation of the project. So the demand for more representation ended up causing less representation. Which brings us to June 2020 and this interview with Mackie and Daveed Diggs of Snowpiercer, the TV series, not the movie. Now, this interview was brought to my attention in this article from Bounding into Comics. MCU's Falcon actor Mackie says Marvel is racist for only having black producers on Black Panther. Now, the actual interview itself comes from Variety, and it's the Actors on Actors series.
It really bothered me. I've done 7 Marvel movies now. Every producer, every director, every stunt person, every costume designer, every PA, every single person has been white. Mm-hmm. We've had one black producer. His name was Nate Moore. He produced Black Panther.
I'm actually rather surprised by this. You mean out of all those Marvel movies, they haven't had one black PA or key grip? Or grip? Best boy? Craft services? Nothing? You know what? Never mind. I just realized this is Hollywood we're talking about here, so anything's possible.
But then when you do Black Panther, you have a black director, black producer, you have a black costume designer, you have a black stunt choreographer, you have a black, and I'm like, that's more racist than anything else.
I mean, come on. Why are you surprised, Anthony? I mean, this is what the regressive left and SJWs want. And this is the crap that Disney has bought into. So why are you surprised by all of this, man? Really?
Because if you only can hire the black people for the black movie, are you saying they're not good enough when you have a mostly white cast?
Right.
But Anthony Mackie is correct. This bullshit is racist. After all, this is coming from the exact same company who took the only black character of Finn and shrunk him down on the poster for China, because China doesn't like black people. How stunning and brave of Disney.
Right. You know, so my big push with Marvel, with everybody is, you know, hire the best person for the job.
This is how it's supposed to work in the real world. We hire people based off of their merit and whether they can do the job correctly or not based off their skin color or their naughty bits.
If you look at it now, you know, there's no reason why you can't say, all right, well, I want, even if it means we're going to get the best 2 women, we're going to get the best 2 men, we're going to get the best 2 that, the best 2 this. Fine. I'm cool with those for the next 10 years because it starts to build a new generation of people who can put something on their resume to get them other jobs. You know, if we got to divvy percentage, divvy it out.
Right.
At least for here. And that's something, you know, as artists, as leading men, that we can go in and push for and push the envelope.
I have to say, I find all this rather amusing because we're living in a time period where professional pretenders can't professionally pretend to be certain characters. And we've been seeing this pushback from voice actors not allowed to play biracial or black characters. Jenny Slate is stepping down from playing the character of Missy on the Netflix animated series Big Mouth. We're also seeing it where Kristen Bell has been booted from her part where she played a mixed race character of Molly on Central Park. And last but not least, we're even seeing The Simpsons affected by this. So yes, this is no longer about hiring the best person for the job. It's all about identity politics. Mackie's comments come amid an ongoing trend in Hollywood where certain characters can only be played by specific types of people. Most notably, a litany of white actors portraying voices of black or mixed roles have been deemed inappropriate. Many have voiced their concerns over portrayals of such roles and decided to give up voice acting the roles altogether. Even Mike Henry, the guy who's been playing Cleveland Brown for the last 20 years, is stepping down from the character, and this is the character he created. And finally, we get to this article because it's 2020 and the insanity just continues. Halle Berry goes and drops this role to play a transgender character because of backlash. Of course. We certainly do live in interesting times, and the only reason why we're seeing these changes going on right now is because of what is going on in the state of the world. All these riots and protests. So, if you want to get something canceled, now's the time to do it. Just saying, folks. But what do you think of Anthony Mackie's comments? It really should be about getting the right person to do the job. If it is a black-led film, there's nothing wrong with having white people work on the set, be directors, stunt choreographers, all that fun crap. And the same thing if it's a white lead. There's nothing wrong with having a black producer or fight coordinator. It should be about getting the right person for the job. I don't understand why this is such a difficult concept for Hollywood to go and grasp, but apparently it is. I'm tired. That's all I got for tonight, folks. I'll catch you next time. Holy shit, you made it all the way to the end of the video. Well, since you're here, you might as well do me a small favor. If you're new to the channel, go and click that subscribe button, bash that bell for notifications, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed the content, and also share it on social media. I even have a P.O. box in case you want to go and send me fan mail. I never get any, so you could actually be the first one. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all my Subscribe Star supporters. Without you, I would probably still be doing this. But in all seriousness, thank you very much, and I do appreciate the support. And I want to give a huge shout out to Toxic Manflu for joining the Well Hello There Big Spender tier, as well as Satakur 7th Legion for joining the Take My Money Damn It tier. You guys are awesome.